A frustrated cabinet minister's letter to the prime minister leaked. The PLP to decide Andre Rawlings' fate. New Queen's Counsel appointments announced, plus nurses threatened to withdraw their labor. We've got those stories and a whole lot more tonight. I'm Bonnie Toot and NB12 starts now. Topping news tonight, senior members of the Progressive Liberal Party are speaking out on the leaked letter that PLP MP Damien Gomez wrote to Prime Minister Perry Christie on Christmas Eve, expressing his frustration after government failed to deliver on certain campaign promises. Agriculture Minister V. Alfred Gray says Gomez should explain how that letter got out, while Party Chairman Bradley Roberts defended the Christie administration's record. Kyle Joaquin reports.
Michael MP V. Alfred Gray says State Minister for Legal Affairs Damien Gomez should publicly address any misconceptions that could possibly come out of that leaked letter he sent to Prime Minister Christie on Christmas Eve. He said unlike some other PLP MPs who voiced their grievances with the PLP in public, Gomez went about it the right way.
Having been leaked, I think it's important that he expresses his position on the leakedness of the letter. The contents of the letter, in my view, is from his heart.
Michael MP V. Alfred Gray says he sees nothing wrong with the way Central and South Eleuthera MP Damien Gomez expressed his concerns to Prime Minister Christie. On Christmas Eve, in a private letter that was leaked to the Nassau Guardian's National Review, Gomez expressed disappointment in the fact that none of the projects he listed as priority items for his constituency in May of 2012 have materialized. Some of those priority items, potable water which is not available in some settlements of Eleuthera, the installation of reflectors or cat eyes along the Queen's Highway, and an explanation as to why donors of charity are turned away and ignored. In the letter, Gomez said many constituents are disenchanted by the failure to address critical capital works projects which may have stimulated the economy of Central and South Eleuthera and alleviated unemployment and poverty. Their bemusement is exacerbated by our adoption of projects in Abaco and North Eleuthera in an apparent prejudice against the economic interests of Central Eleuthera and South Eleuthera. Gomez started his letter to the Prime Minister by saying, "I trust that your Christmas is much better than mine or that of my constituents." Now, Gray says although the letter may appear as though there is some dissension between the two, he knows Christie understands and respects what Gomez did.
Our Prime Minister is a big man. He's very big-hearted. I don't think he will take it personally. The Prime Minister knows, even me and my constituency, I have my own issues, and he knows about them. And I think it is a matter of what is possible to be done.
Damien Gomez ended his letter to Christie with, "through thick and thin." But this is the same Gomez who ridiculed Fort Charlotte MP Dr. Andre Rawlings and Marco City MP Greg Moss when they voiced their grievances with several PLP initiatives in Parliament last year, including a portion of his contribution to debate on the 4 constitutional amendment bills, when he questioned if those seeking to have the wording of Question 4 changed were harboring insecurities about their own sexual positions. At one point, Nassau Village MP Dion Smith made a similar plea to the government last year, saying that his constituents feel neglected. NB12 reached out to Gomez for comment today. However, he refused, saying,
"I have no comment to make on that. I was asked to make a comment before and I haven't."
Meanwhile, PLP Chairman Bradley Roberts says it's not only Gomez who feels as though the government hasn't yet delivered on some of its campaign promises. However, he said people must remember that the Christie administration still has some time to go in its 5-year term.
Well, the government didn't say that they would deliver on all of its promise within 1 year, within 2 years. Its program was for a 5-year program. And I pointed out to the reporter that the government, that Mr. Pintard, Senator Pintard, forgets the state of which the FNM left this country in. And the government had to work itself out of this quagmire that it finds, and the government is slowly but surely placing the country back on a sound footing and is moving now to implement many of the promises that it promised the Bahamian people.
Gomez's opponent in the 2012 general election, Howard Johnson, in a statement commended him for speaking in a meaningful way on behalf of his constituents. But he also questioned why Gomez has kept silent on his grievances for so long, and he also questioned if the letter was strategically leaked. He said at the end of the day, Gomez must be held accountable along with his government for failed campaign promises. Reporting for NB12, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
The PLP's Leadership Council will meet this month to decide on disciplinary action for Fort Charlotte MP Dr. Andre Rawlins, who blasted Prime Minister Christie last year and asserted the country needs new leadership. However, the PLP chairman says this matter has received far too much media attention and suggested reporters have an agenda. Simone Davis has the story.
The disciplinary committee of the Progressive Liberal Party has reportedly demanded that Fort Charlotte MP Dr. Andre Rawlins be suspended from the party for no less than 6 months following his scathing attack on the Prime Minister Perry Christie in the House of Assembly.
When asked about the suspension, Roberts says he's not seen any report with such recommendation. He also suggested that the media knows more information than he does.
He said the Leadership Council will meet this month and the Prime Minister will deal with the matter when he returns from China.
Obviously, the meeting, when it happens, will receive the report from the disciplinary committee, and the leadership of the party will then consider the recommendations contained in that report and will either accept, amend, or alter, and then announce what its decision is.
Rawlins has already appeared before the disciplinary committee 3 times. Back in August of last year, the outspoken MP said the country needs new leadership. He also said that he is tired of hearing the Prime Minister quote scripture in the House of Assembly. Shortly after that, Rawlins was fired as chairman of the gaming board. He was then asked by the National General Counsel to apologize to the Prime Minister, and he refused to do so.
Roberts asserted that there has been far too much media attention on the matter and suggested that reporters have an agenda. When asked to clarify that statement, Roberts said,
The reporter put the question that people wanted to know, so I asked him which people. So he couldn't say. I said, well, my brother, listen, I am in touch with the people of Fort Charlotte, and those are the ones who are affected by this matter. And I didn't hear a single word from any of them. So this is either a figment of your imagination, or you just are saying this in order to be able to keep the pot boiling.
In October, more than 30 Fort Charlotte constituents who represent what Roberts called the nucleus and backbone of the Fort Charlotte branch met to discuss the Rawlins issue. Several members expressed their displeasure with his performance in the House of Assembly and recommended that the PLP nominate former Fort Charlotte MP Alfred Sayers to run in that constituency in the next general election. Dr. Rawlins could not be reached for comment. Reporting for NB12, I'm Simone Davis.
In other news, Cabinet Office has announced that 3 cabinet ministers, including Deputy Prime Minister Philip Davis and Attorney General Allison Maynard Gibson, have been appointed Queen's Counsel. 11 lawyers made the new list, including one attorney who took legal action after he was excluded from the previous list. Dana Smith reports.
Former Attorney General Alfred Sears, noted attorney Wayne Monroe, F&M Senator Carl Bethel, and State Minister of Legal Affairs Damien Gomez are just a few of the nation's new QCs. A statement released today read, Her Excellency the Governor General, Dame Marguerite Pinling, acting on the advice of the Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Perry G. Christie, has appointed the following members of the Bahamas Bar as Her Majesty's Counsel, with the right to use the initials QC after their respective surnames and to enjoy all the other rights and privileges reserved to members of the Inner Bar of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Other names on that list include former Justice Neville Smith, Attorney Anthony McKinney, former Justice Elliot Lockhart, Attorney Lester Mortimer, and Attorney Maurice Glinton. Back in 2009, Glinton filed legal action against the government after he was not appointed QC. He took action after he claimed then Prime Minister Hubert Ingraham removed his name from the list. The legal matter, we understand, is still before the courts. When reached for comment, Glinton would only say he is honored by his appointment. Deputy Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis was also appointed QC, as well as Attorney General Allison Maynard Gibson.
Attorney General Allison Maynard Gibson is currently the only female QC. She said she is honored and humbled by her appointment.
I am deeply humbled and honored for the contribution that I have made thus far. has been recognized by the Prime Minister and my peers, and I appreciate it. I'd like to pledge to the Bahamian people my continued hard work in the administration of justice. I love being a lawyer. I love getting up every day and coming to work, and it is my passion.
Taking note she is, at the moment, the only woman QC, Maynard Gibson said it's important the country continues to appreciate and value contributions women make to national development. She added she's sure there will be more women QCs in the future, as the majority of people being called to the bar are women. The Attorney General also pledged to continue to work to improve the nation's justice system.
Our justice system can work and will work, and people who are skeptical right now will see that there's nothing that Bahamians can't do. So we're setting about fixing the system, and this is something I know we can do, and we have an excellent team that I have the privilege to lead that are working very hard. We're not solely responsible, but we're going to do everything that we can and do our part, and we invite all Bahamians to walk with us on this journey and to continue, please, to keep us in your prayers and our country in your prayers.
Well, Maynard Gibson's junior minister in the Ministry of Legal Affairs, Damien Gomez, said he is moved and quite pleased by his appointment.
I'm quite moved and proud of the appointment and the confidence which the Prime Minister has expressed. I've worked hard from the time I've been called, teaching when we had the Arclean system. It's always been a dream of mine and a fulfillment of 23 years of practice.
Cabinet Office also announced an additional group of new QCs will be appointed in the near future. From Cabinet Office for NB12, I'm Dana Smith.
From the courts, a former United States Marine was charged in the magistrate's court today with attempted murder. 29-year-old Keith John Henry of Wisconsin was charged with the attempted murder of Jonathan Ramming. Last month, police on Eleuthera launched an island-wide search for an American man suspected of shooting a Bahamian. Police said the victim was at his current island home around 3 p.m. on December 30th when an American man he knows shot him several times in the back before fleeing on foot. The victim had to be airlifted to New Providence for medical treatment. Henry was also charged with possession of dangerous drugs. He was allegedly found with 2 pounds of Indian hemp on January 2nd in New Providence. He was not required to enter a plea to the murder charge and pleaded not guilty to the drug possession charge. Henry's attorney, Michael Kemp, requested that bail be considered because his client has dual citizenship. However, bail was denied. He returns to court on March 9th. When NB12 returns, why more than 20 nurses are threatening to stay home. Find out more after this break.
AID has everything you need and more to complement your home's decor. Luxurious bamboo bath towels, face towels from $1.25 and bath towels from $5.45. Shower curtains from $2.54 and organizers in stylish finishes. Bath mat sets from $7.27 in a multitude of styles and colors. Bed sheet sets from $9.95 and 7-piece comforter sets from $49.95. Doormats from $1.93 with matching runners and hundreds of area carpets. Sofa covers from $19.95, plain and crushed sheer curtains from $5.25 and thousands of panels to choose from. Blinds from $7.02 and curtain rods from $2.89. Ceramic and porcelain dishes, tablecloths, napkins, placemats, utensils, and more. A wide selection of drinking glasses including elegant stemware, candle holders, vases, and crystal. Full-size mirrors, decorative pictures, and picture frames. AID, Wolf Road and the Mall at Marathon open late and on Sundays to serve your decorating needs. AID, all you really need and more.